Arc, yeah.
All right, let's pivot
crazy.
and show our diversity, shall we?
Yeah.
More than Guardians, we give you Cleveland Browns talk. Amari Cooper, we all talked, I think midway through the season, someone brought up, when are they going to get this extension done? Because he's clearly the WR1. Clearly, it's not debatable, at least yet. I mean, maybe next year he might be threatening that. Do we want an extension before the season? There's some value in waiting because it might motivate him to have another huge season, but you also run the risk of the price going up if he does. If you're Andrew Berry, are you doing an extension now? Or are you waiting until after the season?
I would do it now because I wanted to wait on Judy because I'm worried about that. With Amari Cooper, I'm not worried about him being comfortable because he got
Are you worried about age yet?
I am a little worried about age, which is why I'd want a short extension. I would only want to extend him for 1 year. Now, he may not be game for that, but I would only want to extend him for 1 year because, or let me rephrase that. I would extend beyond that, but nothing guaranteed beyond next year.
Okay.
It would all be money I can get out of because he's at the age where he could go off the cliff any year. It could happen.
Right.
It happens.
Well, next year's already guaranteed. You mean an additional year for 25?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, when I say next year, I'm in my mind we're in the 24 season.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so I would guarantee him money for 25, and then you extend him another year beyond that, but you can get out of that money for 26. Because I expect him to play at a really high level for at least another year. And if the second year he declines and he's now a number 2 receiver, okay, I could live with overpaying him for 1 year. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't wait because the guy has put up 2 of the best seasons, arguably the best back-to-back seasons in the history of the franchise.
I think it's pretty definitive. If you take Ozzie Newsome out of the mix, who was the tight end.
Right, and so I'd show him some love, especially when you just pay Jerry Jeudy, who's never proven anything in the league.
I think that's a great point.
Listen, I called the Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry, the new Fed. So I hit Alan Greenspan up and said, all of this is imaginary. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what's best for the cap. And if they tell me that the cap is probably going up next year, and they telling me we got the money next year, then I don't care when they pay them, to be truthful. I look at it in a number of ways. The first way is the Cleveland Browns, if they've wanted you as a player, they've always gone out and gotten that said player, whether it's via trade or when it came to money. The Cleveland Browns have never said...
Well, this current regime.
Yeah,
yes, I agree.
This current regime, they go out and get it done. We've talked about Amari Cooper potentially not having... taking money away from him or having him be a cut. Didn't happen. We still ain't seen Nick Chubb give no money back.
They're obviously not. If they were going to cut Nick Chubb, which we all thought they wouldn't, it would have happened.
If they was going to ask for some money back, it would have happened by now. They went and gave, and I learned a tough lesson, or a lot of others learned a tougher lesson than me, is these guys are finance guys, right? Like they literally are Ivy League calculator number crunchers. That's just what it is. Like, so for you and I to be sitting here talking about, you know how you go back and you ever got a car and you want to go get a car and the salesman come back, he said, let me go back here in the back real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And they go back in the back and they get on
I got to talk to my manager.
I got to talk to a couple guys.
Okay.
And they come back. You know your credit score like a 400-degree oven. You know your credit score is 475. They come back and they got a deal for you. Then they got some finance company somewhere to say yes on 27.5% loan on a 2013.
You'll be paying for this for 18 years.
But they got you together. Now, if they could do that, imagine what you could get for Amari Cooper. But he's a 2013 that they're going to have to amateurize and give him more money than he's supposed to, but they'll keep him around.
I have a question for you. Because whenever we ask these questions, should they sign? Now, granted, you have the Operation Stockpile t-shirt.
Yes.
And you're carrying the banner.
Yes.
But every time we ask the question, I'm going to do my G-Bush.
There it is.
Oh, absolutely, you sign it. You're giving him whatever he wants.
Whatever. Minimowski.
And here's the thing. Minimowski.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. On this particular case, by the way, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I keep saying this, and I've been wrong. For 2 years, I've said, guys, there's going to come a day of reckoning.
Right.
And you guys keep saying, The cap is an imaginary. It's a dwarf.
You say imaginary. I say it's very flexible.
No,
I don't think.
And
it's
I think
complete-
I've amended my belief on that because I used to think that it was the Holy Grail. That's
Right.
what you made all of your decisions based on.
Yeah.
But as the league continues, I saw yesterday. I sent you guys the text. Did you see this? The league is going to auction off where they're going to put their Christmas Day game.
I know.
Network-wise, starting bid $50 million.
Yeah, Christmas Day is no longer basketball. That's it.
No, the
It's
NFL
over.
last year said we're going to come into your turf and see
Yeah.
how it goes. It went so well
Yeah.
that in 1 year they flipped. You know, they say the NFL owns a day of the week.
Yeah.
Well, if the NBA owned a day of the year, it was Christmas Day.
Right.
Not anymore.
Over.
The NFL came and said, "We like that. We're going to take that from you," and
Yeah.
they did. And what they saw was people will watch football on Christmas Day like we do on
That's
Thanksgiving.
right. And it's a Wednesday this year.
It's a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. But you know what?
Doesn't matter.
The networks will line up and the bids will
Oh, my
start at
God.
$50 million and may go double that.
It's going to be crazy, and the ratings will be through the roof.
So that means that your cap, which we think is here today, continues to go up based on revenue. And as this revenue pile gets bigger and bigger, the cap number gets bigger and bigger. So you guys, I give.
Yeah.
You're right. I was wrong for 2 years. Hell with it. Sign everything.
Yeah!
Sign them
Let's
all.
go!
Operation Stockpile.
Now, look,
Hey Jay,
Yeah.
the NFL went Debo. They said this is my
did.
day, punk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
now listen.
Yeah, the Browns are a bull. Not the Browns. The NFL is the bully.
They are the
It
bully.
takes whatever it
But
wants.
if we want it, we're going to take it
Now,
from you.
if I could only get people on the national debt thing, like if you
I
could-
wish that was- yeah.
See, the national debt isn't like regular households. We need to tighten our belt straps. No.
No.
The government just says, "Hey, Secretary, how much money is it for the defense fund? 800 million. Print."
The government approves budgets
That-
like the NFL
Yes.
looks at the salary cap.
There it is.
We see you. We know you're over there.
Yeah.
You're no threat to us, and we're going to keep spending.
That's right.
So because that's the new way,
Yes.
I say extend him immediately.
Yeah.
Give him whatever he wants. I'm not with G.
Yeah.
Whatever they want, give it to them. The cap number will continue to go up, and we'll be okay.
The only reason not to extend some guys is because you want them to have a prove-it year. But Amari Cooper's not one of those guys.
he's done it.
Or
Yes.
you're an NFL team and you have an owner that's the equivalent to the Donalds in baseball. Because to
Right.
do that, you have to keep printing and giving people more money.
Sure.
As much as I find Jimmy distasteful, the Browns right now have a big advantage. He is willing to spend.
He is willing to spend.
And other teams are not willing to spend like he is, and that's a big advantage for the Browns.
You're absolutely right. All right, it's noon. We saved this topic for noon because I think our audience is at its biggest as lunch hour starts. This next one, you got to do a read before we go there. But this next one with Mayor Bibb is like an onion. There are so many layers to this thing. And yesterday, yet another piece of evidence as to where this Brown Stadium thing is going, unplayed, not with what the mayor said during his State of the City address, but what he didn't say. I mean, there was an elephant in the room that was covered in pink paint and splashing all over, and he just carried on like he wasn't seeing it and didn't get any pink paint
So
on.
I'm gonna do the read. I got 1 point. I'm
Stunning.
gonna do this read, but he definitely stood on business. Listen, Mike built this rundown. I'm flying this ship. This next segment, if this takes us all the way up to 12:30, and we
It
get
might.
to Channel 3, cool.
It's
But
only in for 10 minutes, but I don't think
got
10
a
minutes
point
will
on
do
the
it.
contract first before I do the read.
Okay.
This is why I think Amari Cooper should be awarded an extension right now.
Right.
You've already invested long term in Jerry Jeudy. You made that investment with him ideally becoming your number one wide receiver. And I think one of the reasons you were okay doing so is because Amari Cooper is here to help him develop to be a pro.
That's a good
so
point.
it doesn't make sense to make the investment in Jerry Jeudy and then not make the investment in Amari Cooper, who's been proven to be a quality product on the football
I
field.
love that point. You're absolutely right. You don't want him to be a mentor for Jerry Jeudy, who's already looked up to him as an icon and a
Right,
hero
and then be
for
gone.
1 year and then
Right.
be gone. The other thing, too, that I wonder, we're all in, there's a professional jealousy that exists in the NFL, and we're all crazy if we don't acknowledge that. There had to be a piece of Amari watching the Browns extend a guy who's been a subpar performer based on what they thought he was going to be, the Broncos. Give him a pile of money. He's got to be over there going, whoa. What about me and what I've already done?
Yeah.
I like the fact that Andrew Berry seems to be a guy that's he plays 3 or 4 dimensional chess. He seems to be a guy that's ahead of the learning curve. That's just a conversation.
Jerry
Okay.
Jeudy, he didn't really get paid like a number 1 receiver. He
No.
got paid like a high end too.
He got overpaid for what he's done.
Right, he's been a mid-tier 2 at best to a lower tier 2.
We all agree
Yeah.
that the addition of Amari Cooper, and for what we had to give up to get him,
Yeah.
we stole him from
Stole
the
him.
Cowboys.
Absolute
a complete steal. He has been over and above what I thought he was going to be, and I had high expectations for him.
Yeah, well, Amari Cooper had been up and down, and we got lucky because he had his worst year the year before he got traded. That was his
a
worst
fact.
season.
I like the fact that, and I think Amari Cooper is one of the guys that understands that he already received this $100 million deal.
Right.
He may be looking at something more in the future where, hey, I'm trying to win now. He
Yeah.
probably, if I'm Andrew Brady, I didn't have already brought him back in. I didn't already brought him in and say, hey, what do you think about Judy? Earl, what do you got?
I think it's coming.
Yeah.